Hey there. Well, today I wanted to share something with those of you who follow me on YouTube, an observation that has caught my eye as far as these pawpaws. I'm sitting here in front of some pawpaws that I started from seed, which are in these square type tree pots. Pick one up to show you what it looks like. Tall one tree tops, or tree pots. Oops, excuse me. Anyways, that pot's designed for a long taproot. And these are seedlings that I started last year, which, by the way, I'm very pleased at how fast they grew, how well they've done. When I transplanted them out of the big pot last year, I put rooting hormone on them, put them in a pot. And then whenever I transplanted them out into the yard, put rooting hormone on the roots again and planted them in the yard. And then this year, back in February, I dug them up and I put rooting hormone on the roots because I cleaned the roots off, turned them into bare root, and then I planted them into this with rooting hormone. And I have to say they're doing very, very well. I've got a lot of growth out of these. This one right here sitting at 13 inches tall. Anyways, moving right along to the reason why I'm doing this video. The one thing that I did notice about these seedlings is they're coming out of dormancy, and for the most part, the dormancy, as they come out of dormancy, the green is happening down in the bottom, and the buds are filling up further up, and there's a little bit of a green right there. They're filling up as it goes up the side of it. As you can see, this one right here, the tip, it had turned green and it's starting to come alive, and it's got some green down here in the bottom as well. That's the seedlings. Now, this one right here and this one right here, those are root suckers. And what's happened is, it's just the opposite. The root suckers, they're waking up, but they're waking up at the top, not so much down in the bottom, although there is one starting to come up down here. I have no idea what the reason is behind that. I dug these root suckers up last year. I put them in 2-gallon pots with rooting hormone. I left the root ball intact as much as possible, and then I added potting soil in the bottom of the pot, rooting hormone, and then potting soil around the top of that root ball just to give it a good start. And once they got started, I'm going to say roughly around the end of August, middle of August, I took them out of those pots and I cleaned the roots up and turned them into bare root, mostly to see what I was getting in root fiber, which I was getting root fiber out of them. Dusted them with rooting hormone and planted them in my root trapper pots, as you see. And I stuck them in a grow box, and they were below dirt level. You know, well, not completely below, but dirt level was even to the top of the pot. And then I covered them with leaves. And I have to say, I went out there in the beginning of February, pulled 4 of them up, and all 4 of them woke up when I left them down in the basement. It took them a few weeks. These ones right here, I dug them up probably about 2 weeks later. So you can see I got some growing going on here. I want to do some grafting this year. The root suckers are intended for the grafting. However, some of the scion that I got in the mail that I had ordered was actually smaller than some of these seedlings. So I may try a couple of the seedlings to see if they're willing to take a graft. This will be the first time that I've done grafting. I've been practicing with sticks on cutting them and mending them back together and using rubber bands, and it's gone pretty well. Trying to utilize a tongue and whip method, I guess is what it's called. And with these right here, I'll probably end up doing wedge type grafting, you know, just something different. But just wanted to share this with you that I found to be intriguing to me is why are the seedlings waking up from the bottom and working their way up, whereas the suckers are waking up at the top and working their way down. I find that interesting, and I have no idea as to why that's doing that. Although, if you follow me on my page, you'll remember that when I dug these up, my intention was to make his stem stay alive. And I took all the leaves off the side except for the very top. Does that have something to do with it? Don't know. Although I can still see leaf buds coming out on the sides. And by the way, the higher I go up his stem, the fuller the bud is. And as I go down the stem, the smaller that leaf bud is. But they're swelling up nonetheless. Just something I wanted to share, and hopefully somebody has some insight as to why it's happening like that. Although, one thing I will note that even though these are waking up at the bottom, it's like a double leaf, triple leaf. There's a double leaf. It's like it's a stem coming out of there. Let me see if I can show you what I'm talking about with this one right here. Now, right here, there's more than one leaf right there coming out. So that tells me that's a stem. So that's trying to stem out, and there's another one on this side that's trying to stem out. So that was interesting as far as my personal observations that I just wanted to share. Anyhow, my name's Jim. If you like what you see, subscribe. And don't forget to click on that bell for notifications. You all have a God blessed day.